really would like to say one more thing, and then I suppose we should come. And then I believe that we will need to go to the graveyard. Yeah.
Well, I'd like people to have a chance. I think there are a few other things I want to say.
All right. Sure.
I'm Joan May. I live at the Quadrangle, and I think that one of the key words that's been used here in describing Betty is modesty. It seemed to me incredible. I've known her for probably 5 or 6 years, as many of us have, that she could keep under a bushel all the fabulous things that she did in her life. She was a very accomplished, keenly intelligent, wonderful woman. You would never have, you knew she was wonderful, and all these things I just said, but you have no idea what she accomplished. And I think it's very rare that you find that kind of thing in a human being. And it's beautiful. She was a rare person. And I must add that there was a living link always in those 2 separate apartments, at least for many years, between Betty and Bill. And that was a charming little dachshund named Mozart, who ran back and forth between the 2 apartments all the time.
I also live at the Quadrangle, and I wanted to share an experience that we had with Betty about 5 years ago. The Lower Merion High School decided to do an oral history project with people who had been in World War II. And after they had completed the project, which was to be deposited at the Library of Congress in Washington, the students decided to have a presentation in which they would invite the people who had participated in the project. And so I had the great good fortune to drive Betty and Bill and my husband to the program at Lower Merion High School. What really struck me so profoundly was the extent to which the students had been moved by Betty. It was not a casual school project for them. They had understood that what they had in their hands was a powerful personality, deeply led to those things in which she believed. And the students got it. They understood. And after the program, they kept coming up to Betty, and they kept wanting to hear more and wanting to touch her yet again. It was extraordinarily moving.
My name is Steve Phillips. I'm also a Quadrangle, and I've been privileged to know Betty. And about a year or so back, we have a tradition there. One of our residents records oral histories of people, and I help out in that. And Betty was the subject of one of those, and it just blew me away when I heard her recount all the things that had gone on in her life up to that point. And the most astonishing thing of all, and it has been brought out here by multiple people, how she related to children and they related to her. It is absolutely ironic that she played such a part in the events at Bletchley, in breaking the Enigma Code, and then at the Nuremberg trial. And then she spent time in Berlin, where she worked with children in Berlin. And the German government was so impressed with her that she has in her possession the Order of the German, High Order of the German Cross. And she has this beautiful medal with all the ribbons. And it was one of her prized possessions. the irony of that here she was involved with the destruction of the German high seas fleet because of her code work, and then here she made this contribution to Germany.
Did anyone have anything else to share before we speak?
As I've been thinking about her recently, I've been enjoying the juxtaposition of these images of her amazing career, and like one of the photos in the collage, which you should all see in the lobby, of her speaking with President Eisenhower about the Chilean earthquake and those kinds of big moments. And for me, the treat of seeing those images in my head and juxtaposing them with arriving in her kitchen and finding out that sure enough, consistently my entire life, she's made sure that every visit includes Julian's favorite pasta sauce. So, in all ways, a woman of giving. Thank you, Betty.
I'm Karuna. I'm Betty's granddaughter. And though she was my mom's stepmom, she was for sure my grandmother. She always made sure my favorite Bengal spiced tea was in the cupboard and that there was chocolate around for me to eat. And I visited